I like the opening, except that what it does, it puts all the kids under a cloud of evil. It's as if everybody's haunted from the minute the movie starts. So you never see them happy. You never see them before. There's no before, there's just the after. And I think that affects the way you watch the movie. It's harder to root for the kids. They're all depressed from the beginning. It's a very strong cast. And you know, Jackie Earle Haley is a wonderful actor. If you saw Watchmen, I think he's the best thing in it. He's very good in the remake of RoboCop. I don't like that movie, but I like him in it. And Jackie's a wonderful actor, but I think they made his makeup too real. Freddy is a story, is a whisper, is a legend, is a myth, is something that kids talk about. Hey, did you hear? I heard my mom talking. She said that years ago, your mother was part of a crowd that burned this old man because he was killing children. Have you heard about that? That this guy, have you heard about this? This guy whose name was Krueger, Fred Krueger. God, is that horrible? It's just something that was whispered about at school, or at summer camp, or on a sleepover, or at a slumber party, or in the locker room. So if I was directing a $50 million Nightmare on Elm Street, and I had 4 kids in it that were victims, I might cast 4 different Freddys, because Freddy's in their mind. It's what they imagine Fred Krueger to look like, all burned. Now, he would have the same sweater and maybe the same hat. The claw could be a little different, because they would all imagine it differently. And, I mean, I think that would be, now, Fred Krueger was real, but the Fred Krueger you see in my movies is the Fred Krueger of the imagination of his victims. And I think with the remake, they kind of made it like, what if Fred Krueger was real? Walking around in an alley in Essen, you know, and attacking it. And that makes him too reality bound. And I think that's a problem with that film. More questions? Yes?
Can you tell us something about filming V?
V? Well, I didn't have a bald spot yet. No, V was a great experience for me. We had lots and lots of money. I made many good friends on that. You know the great character actor Michael Ironside? Well, Michael, I was doing a stunt. And we pulled up in a van, and we opened the door of the van, and we grabbed an alien, and we yanked the alien into the van, and we closed the door of the van, and the van pulled away. And then we had to do take 2. And we pulled up, and we opened the door of the van, and we grabbed the alien, pulled him in, closed the thing, the van drove away. Take 3. So on take 3, we did it again. And the guy, the stuntman, this is the 3rd time we yanked him in, we said, let's put down some blankets for him. Because he got poor guy, you know. And we did it again on take 4. And we pulled the guy in, and he hit the blanket. And the stunt driver drove faster than he'd ever driven before. And the car went, and the blanket went shooting to the back of the van, and it was stripped. And I went flying into the back of the van, and I hit the doors of the van. The doors broke open. I flew out the back of the van at 45 miles an hour and into the street. 47 stitches right here. It's called a trapdoor scar. My whole head was open like that. Michael Ironside picked me up, put the flap of my forehead back, threw me in a car, would not let them take me to a hospital. Here's a good lesson. If you have to go to an emergency room for a scar on your beautiful child's face, always wait for the plastic surgeon to do the sewing, because they sew differently. They sew, you don't sew like this, they sew like that. So it heals without a scar. He took me to the guy that had fixed Michael Jackson's face. Remember when his hair caught on fire in the Pepsi commercial? Not the plastic surgeon, the guy that fixed him after his hair caught on fire in his Pepsi-Cola commercial. Maybe you didn't have that commercial. It was a big famous thing that happened in America. He caught on fire. So this was the guy that fixed his forehead. Michael Jackson had all these burn scars and stuff. So does Freddy Krueger. But anyway, I wasn't Freddy Krueger yet. And they sewed me up. And I thought I was never going to act again. And Michael Ironsides, if you know who I'm talking about, Michael has a big scar here. Because he was sewn up with a whalebone by Aboriginal North American natives at a very political event that happened up in Canada, where he was sitting in with a protest, and he cut his face, and that's why he has such a bad scar. They didn't do it right. So that's one of my best V stories. The other one is it just made so many friends. If you know the rich boy from the series V, Jeff Yeager, he's the practically twin brother of Kevin Yeager, who did my makeup for 2, 3, 4, 5, or 7, and also who did my makeup for Phantom of the Opera, and also invented Chucky. He invented the prototype of Chucky. He also produced Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp. So I was very close with all of those people. They were all dear, dear friends. And that was a great time. You know, V was one of the highest rated shows, and I remember getting German fan mail almost immediately. That was my first German fans. And I got to go to Berlin for publicity. It was my first time in Berlin, which was great to get to go and see theater in Berlin, you know, because we'd heard about. And I got to see Pina Bausch right near here, Wuppertal. Yeah, I got to go see the famous Pina Bausch theater. Oh, it was so great for me because I love that stuff. So that was V opened all those doors for me in Europe. And then right after that, Nightmare. They were both international successes for me. And I began to do movies all over the world then. So, any other questions? Yes?
What's your favorite food?
My favorite
Food. Essen. What's your favorite food?
We'd like to eat. What is
food! Well, I like salmon. I like sushi a lot. Lots of different kinds of sushi. I think my favorite food is Italian food in Italy because it's very seasonal. I was doing a movie in Italy and we were there in the fall. And you know, in June they look forward to the tomato harvest all summer because that's tomato sauce. That's done with. The last of the tomatoes are done in September. So I was there in fall, and it's all the squash, you know, the squash, the pumpkin, the squash, all the squash vegetables come in. So the sweet potato and all of that comes in there. So when you go out for pasta in the fall, in Italy, you get like the gnocchi, and it's stuffed with eggplant, and it's stuffed with the red sweet potato, and it's stuffed with the different squashes, the sweet squashes, the acorn squash, and stuff like that. And then so you go through that period of time, and then later on there's another vegetable that comes out. Whatever is fresh at that period of time, they just go nuts for. When we were in Umbria, it was the olive oil season. So everywhere you went, they would put down a hot piece of bread in front of you and a bowl of new green olive oil. And you just dip the bread in that, you know, hot. Oh my God, it was so good. Mangia with the Italians. In America, our immigrant Italians were all from Sicily. So we have heavy Sicilian influence on the Italian food we eat in America. And for many, many years, it was just the red sauce Italian food, which is just one part of Italy, like Naples. You know, you can go to places in Italy, you can't even find pizza. Western Europeans and Americans fell in love with pizza. We love pizza. But in Italy, pizza's kind of in the south. You know, in Milan, you don't find a lot of pizza. They kind of look at you like, pizza. Like the risotto, which is different. It's what they eat there. They eat braciola. They don't eat a lot of prosciutto there. They eat the really thinly sliced beef. Actually, sauce in the hotel. So I know you guys love it too. That really thin slice, you can almost see through it. But in Italy, they're crazy about it. It's like every town, ours is the best. No, ours is the best. They get in fights about it. You know, they fight about who has the best, like who has the best crop, or who has the best sausage, or who has the best beer. But they battle about that there. So I love good Italian food. But if you've ever gone to Japan, eating is a work of art there. You know, I mean, it's too crowded for me, and it's too cute. Hello, kitty, my little pony. But I love Japanese horror, and I love the Japanese Zen, and I love the way the food there. Amazing too. It's an art. It's an art. You never get anything bad there. So that's, I guess I would say, Japanese and Italian food are my favorites. Yeah.